Good evening, Dr. Himlata.
Hi, good evening. Uh,
How are you? How was your
good,
weekend?
good. How are you doing?
Fine.
Let's just wait for a few moments.
Yeah.
Hi everyone, am I audible? Hello, hello.
Hi, how are you? Sridhar?
Hi ma'am. Yeah, doing better. How are you?
I'm good. How many books did you finish?
I finished, I didn't finish actually. I read through 20 plus pages and then got into something else. The weekend passed by. We are on Monday evening again.
Good evening, Sridhar.
Hello ma'am, how are you?
Good, good. How are you?
Doing good. Thank you so much.
Nice, nice.
Just trying to message in the group.
Hello all.
Yeah, hi, Neil.
Hello
Hi,
Neil.
hi. I'm joining after a long time actually. I just spoke with Geetanjali madam last week and then I started joining again.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
welcome back.
Thank you. Preeti, thanks. So this is finance related session, I suppose.
Yeah. Finance, we just finished finance acumen module.
Okay.
And now we are just moving to, preparing for interviews through some frameworks.
Okay.
So, how about you, Neil? What do you do?
Okay. I'm basically engineer. I'm let's say work in Bosch. I'm program manager. I'm working on hardware development actually for the
Oh,
automotive domain.
wonderful.
Around 23 years of experience now so far.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
Good evening, ma'am. Hema, ma'am. Good evening.
Good
all.
evening, Anilji. How are you?
Good, ma'am. Thank you. I have applied so many jobs today.
Oh, wow. चलो, all the best to you.
Give call to I have.
अरे देखो ऐसा है ना, see, what happened, we have to take the first step.
जी.
Rest things will follow and just have that positive intention. If it is good for you, it will come to you. Nobody can take it away. हो जाएगा, हो जाएगा. करते रहो
So,
बस. We have to keep doing. Just keep the momentum and the energy up. It will happen.
Yeah,
Hi,
applying
Kalyan
itself
ji.
is a
How are
good step.
you?
Hi, Kalyan ji.
Sorry, I was looking for the Zoom link. टिपिकली हमको वो रिमाइंडर्स मिलता है ना तो
ग्रुप में ऊपर टैग है ना और एक ही
हाँ,
लिंक
पिन करा हुआ है. मैंने भी उसी से ज्वाइन किया.
पिन किया हुआ
अच्छा
है.
अच्छा अच्छा ओके ओके सो सॉरी फॉर दैट या
Good. Can we start, Preeti?
Yes,
Hi,
ma'am.
Rajesh.
All
Good evening.
yours. Yeah.
Balaji.
Ma'am. Good evening.
Nice, nice. Okay, are we ready to start?
Yeah, sure.
Good. So, on Friday we were talking about frameworks for answering questions. So today we'll take one framework and quickly, no need, we don't need, if you have the dump, it's okay. If you don't have the dump, that's okay. Just remember any one case and quickly we can, frame one answer into that framework. And now we are not going to give feedback to others. Whatever we are speaking, we have to, just be mindful of what we spoke and how can we make it better. Is it okay with everyone? Because we have done feedback, I think we have done enough. And now continuously we have to work on upgrading our own self. Our own feedback would matter for us. Okay. Very good, Preeti. So I'll just show a slide. I'll start with a slide only. Just a moment. Okay. I'm sharing the screen. Just let me know when it's. Oh, can you make me the host, Preeti? I am not able to share the screen.
I don't have access to this.
Okay.
Who is host?
Lohita, can you do it?
Is
No.
anybody a host?
We have
Okay,
the
no worries, no worries. I'll just do the speaking without. I wanted to show, but I can
You
do
can
without.
share it, right?
No, without being a host or co-host, that sharing rights are not there.
I think Lohita is a host here. Let's check with her. Lohita, can you hear us?
Go back, leave it. Don't bother about that. So what I'll do, I'll just talk about it. That's all. It's not a big deal. You all know about the STAR. Today, any which ways, we are going to talk about the STAR framework. And not the star, we are including an L along with the star. So when we start with the star, first S is the situation. We briefly, it's a kind of setting the scene. And here the context is the key. But we have to be very, short. Brevity, I would say, is crucial. That is important. We do not, keep on speaking about the situation. Then we talk what was the task, what we had to actually do, what were we accountable for. Then we talk about detailed steps that we took. This is actually the core of the leadership behaviors. Then we talk about what were the results, quantifiable outcomes, which shows your, effectiveness. This is the proof of your effectiveness. What have you actually done? And then is our learning. What did we learn from this? So I'll talk about one of my own situations, and then maybe we can then everyone can talk. So this is an example which I am trying to give is regarding a housekeeping contract. So we were trying to consolidate the housekeeping contract. Initially, what we were doing it separately for each business. Like Energy was doing its own contract, Delhi Airport, Hyderabad, Goa, each one of the entities, they were doing their own contracts. Then we saw that, that there is a great potential. For 5 years, if we are awarding the contract, the value of the contract was around 600 crores. So there is a big potential to bring in the economies of scale and scope. So the consolidation was planned. When we planned for the consolidation, then there were multiple stakeholders because the users from each business entity, they were all different. And nobody wanted to come, forward together and consolidate this. What would it mean for each of the entities? They would lose the control. They were the bosses. They, whatever, vendor they wanted, they could bring. Whatever SLAs they wanted, they could keep. But when we are doing it at a group level, then everything, because it will be governed by a MSA. So all the SLAs, everything would become uniform for the entire group, which people were reluctant to. Then what I did, we have an in-house consulting team. So we called that team, we did the analysis, and we showed to all the users and the business procurement teams the potential available. That with the consolidations, we will be able to bring in huge savings. We can standardize the material, we can standardize the SLAs, and then to top it up, we did a study for the airports that how we can optimize on the manpower. That study included the studying the flight timings and which washrooms, are require more manpower during those times. And then we can, swap the manpower and optimize. So when this study was conducted and shown to all the users, with this collaboration approach, the entire team members, they became ready for this exercise. And with this consolidation, we were able to bring a saving of 143 crores in a package of 600 crores. So I would say initially we faced a lot of reluctance and resistance from the team. But then with the collaboration approach, we were able to, inculcate and bring all the teams together. And then we were a single team running this project. So how does this sound to you? Were you able to understand clearly? Because you are not from this industry, this business, it's all different. But how was the understanding and how do you feel it was? And I use that, STAR framework. We talked about the situation, what we wanted to consolidate, then the task that different entities are there. We want to bring them all together, same SLAs, optimize manpower. These were then how we want to utilize economies of scale and scope. Then what are the actions we took? Calling a consultant. Because initially when internal people explain to our other teams, there is a bit of, they don't even hear. But when a consulting team is talking, then people are open and receptive. With this collaboration, people agreed and they, they were in the game. And when the saving is there, then the benefits of the saving are being reaped by the business entities. And the learning that we got was that we, with this collaboration approach, we are able to deliver, deliver projects better. Yeah, Jaisurya ji, you have raised your hand.
Hi, madam. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, ma'am, the framework is clear and you explained it really well. I'm just trying to understand the financials part. You said the contract was for 600 crores or something, and then you saved 150 crore.
Yeah.
So why did you spend 600 crore to save 150 crore, madam?
No. See, this housekeeping contract is a contract which the value of this package is 600 crores that we have to award. For 5 years, this package value is 600 crores. But now with this consolidation, we saved 150 and then we could award the same package which we were awarding for 600 crores now in 450 crores.
I see. Okay, okay.
Yeah. We saved. So 600 का जो order करते थे, now we ordered the
Uh-huh.
same thing for
For 450
Yes.
with consolidation. That was the
Yes. With consolidation, we optimized the equipment, we optimized manpower. So all this optimization, looking at the flight schedules, how much manpower we need to spread out, that we did. And initially, there were different players. Now with consolidation, there are only 2 to 3 players, and they could consolidate and bring in those efficiencies of scale and scope.
Okay.
Is it clear? If anybody has any question, it's good to always ask that.
Yeah, clear from it.
So, I think the situation and the results part of it is very clear. What was the situation and what was the result? But how do you sort of differentiate between the tasks and the actions?
No, the task was, situation is that we want to consolidate. The task is that there are different entities and we want to bring them together. And what is my objective? To bring in those economies, to reduce the cost. That is the main task, is to bring in efficiencies.
Okay.
And see, don't get bogged down between STAR. It's just a framework. If we get bogged down and in my mind, you try to STARL, then just be mindful that we want to talk about. It gives a flow to your whatever we are talking about. Otherwise, we get lost here and there. And 2 to 3 minutes is a wonderful, good answer. If we keep on expanding, elaborating, people get the gist of what we want to say in 90 seconds. That is the optimum. So now I would suggest that, before we move to the next, everyone can take any one scenario and just speak. We will not give any feedback. Just we'll say thumbs up. And if anybody has any follow-up question, like Jaisurya asked, because if we are not able to understand something, that we can always ask. So you can raise your hand, and one by one, if everyone can go, that would be great. Then we will talk about the next framework. At least it will give you an ready-made framework that yes, we are at it. Yeah, okay. Neil, you go first. Then we'll take Kalyanji.
Okay, first of all, hi, Kalyan, hi, all. Rajesh, I'm joining after a long time, so it's really nice to see you all. Of course, I see now new faces also. Hemlata madam also I meet first time, so really happy to meet you all. Yeah. The reason I wanted to go first, since madam, you said that just don't get bogged down with the network, I mean the star framework, but just go ahead. That's why I thought to take that opportunity to give my mind that, to produce that raw input and see where exactly I fall into. Okay, the situation in my company right now is that we have.
Sorry to interrupt, Neil. Don't mention task, situation, task. That has to run only in your mind.
Okay.
Just, any question they can ask, that how, like, what I made an answer was that how you responded to a challenging situation. What was the challenge in your organization and how you came through that? Or it can be how what improvements you brought. So just, any question an interviewer asks, it's a framework is running only in our mind. We are just answering to any one question.
Okay, good. So we have I will have to say scenario that we have the people pyramid. so we generally the expected pyramid of the people, like the different hierarchy of the team member of the different level, or what we call a salary level or the experience level. Generally, it's expected that we have the higher base of entrants, new joiners, and the lower level who are actually working engineers, and then you have the, let's say, the team leaders, and then you have the managers, and so on. So this pyramid I'm referring into. Now, in specific to my group, in scenario is that we have inverted pyramid, in the sense we have less number of people at the bottom, and we have more highly experienced people on the top. So this is an inverted pyramid, and that is due to a business scenario itself, because our business involves quite complex operations in terms of design and development, and that needed front ending to the customer, and we need to retain the experienced person, and there is always sometime there is a high attrition at the lower level, so these people keep on coming and going. So that's the situation. This is inverse. So now the thing informed to me is that I cannot grow with this in my organization with this kind of a inverted pyramid. So that's the problem statement. And so now I have the challenge that how I can make this movement, because the seniors who are used to of working in their own area are reluctant to move somewhere else, and I cannot infuse the fresh blood at that top position, or I cannot move the people who are on the next level to the up position. Yeah, so then we sat down, we analyzed that. Okay, we analyzed. Let's say we did the SWOT analysis of the various team members, and we, I mean, in terms of their competency and what opportunities so far they have not received, and where they are good into, and we plan the movement of the people, in taking them into the confidence, saying that hey, because if we keep you at the same level, perhaps it's also demotivating for you. We are unable to push you up. HR is asking us question that this person is so good, then why are you not moving them up? But then we say we don't have position upwards because we are heavy pyramid. And then why don't want we let them to go out? Because just we say that it is critical. So we explain them very clearly. We rotated kind of we made kind of a rotation of the people within across the groups, across the customer projects, and we created some new positions outside, and we are now grooming those people to take the new positions, and that way we are creating some positions, and also some laterals we are hiring. So that way, um, that's the combined exercise. It's a year-long exercise. I mean, it's not something going to happen in a overnight or something just that we decided so it would happen. So it's a whole year program, and we are working on it. And so it's a big takeaway for us that we have to time review such situation. We have to review the business. We have to review the people aspiration, and take the decision in taking confidence of the people.
Good.
Yeah.
ठीक है, good. Kalyan ji, now you can go. Just be mindful of the time. You took 4 minutes. Just see how we can make it a bit crisper.
Okay. Sure.
Okay,
Thank
I'll start.
One question, Kalyan, before you start. Ma'am, when we talk about STAR methodology and when you explain a situation and the result, they always say that the result has to be tied with some dollar value, like how you
No.
mentioned in
See,
your
what
example.
happens, like Neil explained, that it's a long process, but still they the learning was that they they can do multiple locations, and they were putting people there. So it's not only every time everything cannot be with a dollar value. So either you improve the efficiencies, and whenever we talk about efficiency, it's not only about money. Actually, anything in an organization you improve, you can always convert it to money. If you are improving the productivity of the people, making them motivated, making them encouraged, they will produce more output, and in turn, that will be connected to somewhere dollar money. But you cannot maybe, articulate or calculate that dollar value from every deal. But yes, if at all there are tangibles and they are not intangibles. So if you are improving the efficiency through intangibles, that is also a great thing.
Okay. And in interviews, are non-tangible answers also appreciated? Okay.
Definitely.
Okay.
Everything, because everything, if we want to calculate, you can. Have you ever worked with consultants? And especially those consultants who charge fee basis the success fee models. They
Mhm.
will convert all intangibles into dollar value.
Yes, yes, that's why I asked this question, ma'am.
So, see, when we bring out an intangible also, those people who are interviewing you, they all understand that all intangibles are, connected to the dollar value. And are you a leader? Can you, tackle situations? Are you able, see, if you are not able to take charge of the situation and bring out some output out of it, tangible, intangible doesn't matter. As a leader, you have to deal with everything.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
what matters.
Thank you.
Okay,
Yes.
so I'll go ahead. So 3 years back, when we embarked on the cloud modernization programs for our customers, which was a major chunk of our revenue, the customers came back with two complaints. One was the programs were rather lengthy. A medium to large sized cloud migration was anywhere between 12 to 24 months. And then the cost of those programs was also anywhere between $250,000 to about $400,000. Huge. So the challenge that was given to us is the timelines have to be brought down, and these programs have to be self-funded. The customer shouldn't end up paying money for these modernization programs. What we did was we looked at we sort of audited these programs and looked at what were the time-consuming aspects of these cloud modernization programs, where was rework happening, and why a simple forklift or a lift and shift kind of a migration did not get the benefits that the customers were looking at. So based on that, we came up, I in fact championed what is called as CAMS, which stands for Cloud Architecture Migration Planning Service, which involved assessing the customer workloads before starting an actual migration program, before the delivery and execution, right? So this program, it looked at the customer's landscape in quick time, in about 4 to 6 weeks time frame, and then provided a roadmap on how those data and analytic platforms can be modernized in a limited duration of time. So what that resulted was these modernization programs, they came down from 12 to 24 months to about 6 to 8 months. And the cost of these programs also reduced from 250K to about 100K or less. So that's the impact of this. Yeah, thank you.
Wonderful. Very nice. So now you see how, those vague things are getting crystallized in such a proper way. Very nice. Yeah, Sridhar, go ahead.
So back in 2017, I was in the US for my first time for a business trip to attend a vendors conference. On the third day of the conference, I received a phone call from my boss in the UK. So he said, we need to be in India as soon as possible because there is something that actually impacted the applications. There was a cyber impact, and then we had to work on something very, very importantly. So I flight back to India and convened a meeting with all the stakeholders across the globe. So the challenge was that there were certain administrative accounts that were compromised because of the passwords were saved on the notepad. So the requirement was to build a solid solution which can manage all the admin accounts centrally through the organization. So I discussed with various stakeholders across the globe, invited the administrators from all the places in Deloitte, like from Australia through Canada. So we jotted all the activities, identified vendors to provide solution, finalized the vendor, perform the POC, onboard some of the production accounts to ensure that we are actually adhering to the requirements. So we expanded the account onboarding globally, one country after the other, built new teams in Hyderabad to take care of it from them as the operations team. So in less than 4 months of time, we were able to onboard about 60% of the accounts to the solutions. We could audit them, we could monitor them, and report to the leadership on how the accounts are being leveraged. And then in 6 months of time, we could onboard 80% of accounts. Remaining 20% had to, go to some audit channels, and then because of the European legal laws, we couldn't do it on centrally. But we had achieved whatever we should have achieved within 6 months of time. So overall, this program helped us to centrally manage all the admin accounts, to secure them, to audit them, to report them on a regular basis. And most importantly, I got visibility across the organization and got a promotion as well in those days. So one of the very, very significant challenges I have had, and then we could successfully do that.
Very nice. Very nicely put. Very good.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, Rajesh.
Hey everyone. Yeah, so primarily I was leading a team for one of the leading mining company in Saudi Arabia. We were in a transformation project, and I was leading a team of 50 plus, and we scaled up to 100. And one of the key challenge as part of the transformation was that primarily we were taking the current landscape applications that was part of Madin. It was being served by TCS, the incumbent vendor. So there were a couple of challenges in terms of the hostility. Some of the TCS members were not ready to share the knowledge. Right. So this was a situation where I stepped in and I built a governance model where we brought in the seniors from TCS, from Madin, the program managers from Madin, and SMEs from IBM. We sat together and we built a plan which primarily constituted of assessing the complexity of the application and also taking note of what is the key applications that would be impacted if the knowledge transfer is not effective. So this enabled us to bring in a framework where we identified the key applications, the applications which were very essential for Madin to run the business. So we enhanced the program by leveraging some of the tools within IBM Watson AI tool and enabled client to get into the system where we discussed with the team, we brought in the framework and led the overall knowledge transfer effectively. And within 3 months, we were able to see the outcome where the team got in some of the inputs very early using some of the tools that we leveraged. The team were prepared when they went back to TCS for information. And also we had a framework. Part of the framework was that we, on a weekly basis, give the feedback to client from the team members. So that helped client to see the wow moment. And this was one of the success pedestal. And the learning curve was to ensure that we have a plan, a collaborated plan, which will help the client to see the value add. So this was one of the key achievement.
Good. Very good. That with collaboration, you could, achieve the results. Very nice. Now, who wants to speak?
I can.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. I want to describe a situation that I faced in 2018 where I was working for Shell and I was in Bulgaria negotiating a contract with a vendor to implement uh, a concept called fiscalization announced by finance department of the government. What it means is they want to expose the black money in Europe. So any transaction that is made by a business, it has to go to a server of government, and government will authorize the transaction and issue a barcode. So the barcode has to come on the receipt. Okay, so the contract was negotiated with a company called SIS Technology. The contract value was $2.4 million. And after the whole deal was done, we shook hands, and then the vendor CEO, he said, okay, great. So let us sign the contract, and once the contract is signed, we will start the work. And that statement raised alarm for us because in Shell, it is not so easy to sign a contract in 2 weeks or so. It takes 6 months' time. So, government restriction is that you have to do this within 18 months or so. And if 6 months goes in this, there won't be sufficient time, and we will, if we don't comply with law, we cannot operate the Shell petrol stations in Bulgaria. So that's the situation we were in, and I didn't know how to solve this. So, evaluating a couple of options, we have thought out of the box and introduced a concept called letter of intent, where we told while the contract is being signed, parallelly, you can start the development work. Within 6 months, if the contract doesn't get signed, we will compensate you with $700,000, which is equal to the development effort of 6 months. That gave some confidence that this company is serious, and I think if this letter of intent can be signed, and we also told that we will issue a press release that even boosted his confidence. That way, we were able to safeguard Bulgaria operations, and also we were able to safeguard the 2.4 million contract. So here, more than anything else, the Shell reputation damage is protected and compliance to the law is protected. That was the result of this action.
One or two things I would like to say. You said that found out a new thing, letter of intent, because letter of intent has been going on for ages. So it's
Not in Shell.
Huh?
Not in Shell.
Okay. Okay. From Shell, then you have to specify that. And Sridhar also said 2017, 18. Please don't, if the years are too far off, please don't mention the years. You can say if it is your current company, then you can say earlier in my tenure at this company. Or if it was very old, so you can just mention earlier in my career. So 2017, we are in 26. It means last 10 years we don't have any case. So better don't mention the year. So it when somebody is listening, it gives rings a bell. Yeah, this situation, if you are a leader, are kind of everyday situations. So I have multiple stories, but I'm telling you one because in an interview you could talk only about one or two. So just don't take years. and make it bit crisp, Jasurya. Just somehow, at least I was wavering here and there in between.
I see.
Just
Okay.
make it a bit crisp, because too many details, what the CEO said and all. Just tell the intent. Bring out what your role was, because you have to shine as a hero, not some other CEO.
Okay.
Because after once you have spoken, what remains in my mind is that you championed and you have done it. Not the CEO said this and it rang a bell in me. What the vendor CEO said, you can just mention that we were not comfortable with what stories we were hearing from the vendor.
Understood. Understood. It gives that perception. Yeah.
Because end of the day, you are the hero, you have to shine, and don't use too much of we. Though I also sometimes use we. You use we, but one or two times just bring that I element also.
Okay.
I, along with my team, we collaborated with different units, different team members. Within my organization, I collaborated and made a cross functional team, just to bring in that
Yeah.
your hero element. Yeah, good. Everyone has spoken, I think. Good. So we are just in time. Oh, sorry, Anil. Sorry, I forgot you. Please go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, so ma'am, one clarification. When we have to use I and we?
Don't get bogged down. Firstly, always remember one thing, even if you say we, it's okay. When you are telling the case, you are the boss.
Okay,
बट
ma'am.
एक आध बार जस्ट कहीं बीच में बोल दो आई चैंपियन दिस, लाइक कल्याण वाज मेंशनिंग ना, आई चैंपियन, और somebody else mentioned आई चैंपियन दिस, आई लेड दिस इनिशिएटिव.
So
Then I मतलब a once, at least once or twice you bring that I element, and then you can talk about the team, because alone you cannot be the hero. It always has to have that we element has to come. That is also very critical, as I is the critical thing.
okay, recently I had one assignment where legacy databases we had to migrate to Snowflake Cloud. So the challenge was billing cost. It was 120K USD per month billing for AWS systems. And it was very slow, like it was taking 24 to 48 hours to load the data. And if in case some business team wanted some backdate data, then it was taking again 24 to 48 hours to extract and provide them. So it was time consuming. Then I started working on the migration strategies with along with Snowflake team, and worked on a POC. And the requirement of a client was, at least if we will reduce the 20% time, then they could be happy. Then I started working on POC for SimilarWeb, one data entity, and migrated 1 month data. It was almost 6 billion records, a few TBs of data. And it took me almost 5 days. And time was like for one single uh, 1 day data, it was more than 100 or 150 GB. So I loaded, and client was happy. We worked on the reporting also, Power BI reporting, and then migrated successfully and presented to client, handed over after testing multiple validations. Uh, so it was a successful project. So sprint one we released successfully, then working on further releases, and we cut down the cost as well as time. So where it was taking 24 hours, now it's taking even 1 or 2 hours based on multiple dependencies.
So, Anil, you brought out very nicely the situation, the task, the results, and the learnings also, you know. But I was not able to understand what actions you took. कि आपने किया क्या ऐसा, मतलब पहले इतने 24 to 48 hours लगा रहे थे, suddenly how you are able to do in lesser time, 4 hours or 6 hours. What you did actually?
We extracted files, we extracted data. Now, Kalyanji, now I have to explain in very simple layman term, na? Because Kalyanji समझ गए. Okay, so we
नहीं
extract.
पर एक्चुअली क्या है कि मतलब see, I also understand all data, ये AWS, everything, because I had the IT procurement also. But I'm not able to understand कि what actions you took. आपने किया क्या? Your framework was very good. Only कि how you reduce the timelines, that is understood. आपको SLAs meet करने थे लोगों को, आपने 20% कम टाइम में कर दिया, 20% सेविंग भी कर दी. बट किया क्या आपने? मतलब what was so special that you did or you championed?
So we extracted data from existing system in form of CSV file and Avro file for complete 1 month, and loaded through Snowpipe and Python framework to Snowflake database. And
पहले क्या कर रहे थे और अब क्या किया? That change should come, because otherwise I don't know. अब आप मतलब you are telling me we used this Snowflake and pipeline you used, but what were you using earlier? So earlier we were doing through this method, and then through my design and innovative technologies, I thought about this solution, and now with this I designed a system through which we could do this using this technology, and this resulting in a time saving of about 50% and cost saving of 20%. That's a good enough, because if you give numbers and all, वो कैलकुलेट करना पड़ेगा मुझे, क्योंकि ये इतने सारे नंबर्स है ना. इफ only one figure is there, then I understand. But if there are multiple numbers, then my mind also goes in between that numbers, if I am not from your field. Maybe if your boss who is interviewing will be from the same area, he'll be able to catch up better. But if you give that percentage perspective and what before and after what you did.
okay,
But otherwise, other rest all elements were quite bang on.
okay, thank you.
Very nice. So now, what do you feel? With this framework, how do you feel? I just want to hear quick one-liners, not more.
It's a much aligned towards the what interviewer is expecting.
Yeah, very good. Kalyan?
I think it brings a sense of crispness. Okay, so in terms of sort of, narrating that story and then bringing out that impact, right? It makes it crisp and clear.
Right.
The two to two.
Bas, one line.
Yeah.
Crisp.
Yeah.
Crisp feedback. Neil?
Yeah, I mean, two things. One is that how to put it as what I have done. So finally, the interviewer should remember you from your actions. So that's the main
Perfect.
thing.
Rajesh?
Yeah, madam, it's a concise way of telling things. So, follow.
Sridhar?
Two things, right? For interviewee, clarity. For somebody who's asking questions, should be outcome driven. So what is in this person?
Wonderful. So, helpful to everyone? Yes? Good. So, it gives a framework, once we work around frameworks, then our thought process also becomes clear. And when we are clear, we reflect that clarity to the other person as well. Good. So we'll catch up tomorrow with another framework, and few days we will continue with these framework. And while you are thinking about situations or other thing, just keep on refining in your own words, बहुत ज्यादा practice की जरूरत नहीं. If you know this scenario, you will be able to talk through it. You all are experts in your field. Just remember that. ठीक है? Good. Thank you, Preeti. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much.
No meeting tomorrow morning as well. See you tomorrow evening.
See you.
All right.
Bye bye. Good night.